And again, folks, this is Matthew Boyle here for Breitbart News at the Conservative Political Action Conference just outside Washington, D.C., hosted by the American Conservative Union. And right now I'm joined by David and Jason Benham, the Benham brothers, if you will, and they're out with a new book called Whatever the Cost, guys. Can you tell us a little bit about the book and what you're doing here at CPAC?
Sure. We wrote the book. We basically talk about what happened with HGTV and how we got fired, and we give all the great little details behind the scenes. But we called it Whatever the Cost because as Christians, a tenet of our faith is that we live out our faith whatever the cost. But as Americans, we defend our freedoms whatever the cost.
And tell tell us what do you think? I mean, there's got to be like 20,000 conservative activists here. They're all fired up, getting ready for the next big fight on the campaign trail. It just come right off of a Republican victory in 2014. What do you think? All these activists out here. What does it show to President Obama, the left? What do you think?
Well, I think that as our culture seems to be getting darker and darker, the light is going to get brighter and brighter, and that's what we're called to be. And so for my brother and I, what we like to say is we're Christians first, conservatives second. There's a lot of good folks here, and we're standing for things that I truly believe that God himself stands for. And one of the things that we're seeing in this conference that we see across the country as we're speaking, people are hungry for courage. They want courageous leadership.
So what is it about the Hollywood establishment that is so ingrained with liberalism and a cultural decay that they would kick guys off the air for being Christians? I mean, what is it about that?
It doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
Okay, well, the reason why it's illogical is because it's a spiritual struggle. See, we're believers in the Bible, and the Bible says there's a very real God and there's a very real devil. And when you have spiritual warfare going on, sometimes someone may have an opinion about something that goes completely contrary to yours, but we don't need to try to squash that or shut that up because Jesus comes to give life. And when he gives life, there's freedom and there's liberty within that.
And now, can you guys? All right, so let's take a step back for a second. Can you give us a little bit of a history? What happened with HGTV? What was the show? How did it how did it come to be canceled? And what were the details? And why did it happen? Give us a little bit of a history of that.
Well, we started a business after we got out of professional baseball, and it grew really big. We had 100 offices, 35 states, creating lots of jobs, paying lots of taxes to our country, and very glad to do it. And then a reality show from TLC actually reached out to us and made us an offer. We thought we were going to go with TLC. Then HGTV called us and made us an offer. We went on with them.
And tell us a little bit about the business. The business is you guys were remodeling homes, right?
Right. Okay. Remodeling, flipping homes, and selling foreclosures and all these other things. And then what happened was when they started running commercials in the spring of 14, just before we were to air 6 episodes in the fall of 14, Right Wing Watch wrote a new article about Jason and I. HG got big pressure from GLAAD, and they tried to stick with us.
And so Right Wing Watch is a liberal media outlet, and then GLAAD is obviously a liberal activist group,
yes,
right?
And liberal activist group, and they told they wanted HG to get us off the air. Well, HG tried to fight for us, and we tell this about our book, in the book Whatever the Cost. We give all these details, but unfortunately the pressure was just too much. They got bullied into it, so they ended up firing us.
And so now after that happened, you guys just could have went back to just regular business. You didn't need to be here at all these political conferences. I know we talked at the Value Voters Summit not too long ago, but instead of doing that, you guys are out there just discussing what happened, detailing it. Why not just go away like good little Christians? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why not just go away? That's what the left wants you to do.
But if we went away, then we wouldn't consider ourselves good little Christians. Because if I were to walk into a lunchroom when I'm in high school and there's a high school boy picking on a junior high kid, then what am I going to do? Go yell at the kid to stick up for himself? Or am I going to go over there and deal with that bully? Right. So that's for David and I. The bully isn't a person. The bully is an ideology. And so David and I said, we're going to go and attack this ideology, and we're going to do everything we can to bring that thing down. Because we love America, we love our country, and we love our God.
Now, what's the message that people out there watching this video need to take away from what you guys are doing? You guys are standing up there, you're exposing what this institutional left is doing to people, how they're using Hollywood to attack Christianity. What is the message to everybody watching this video? What do they need to do? How can they get involved? How can they help? And where can they find the book?
Well, they can find the book anywhere books are sold, Amazon.com, or you can go to our website, whateverthecost.com. But what our message is basically this, that we have to get our heart right, because boldness without brokenness makes a bully. We don't want to be bullies to anybody. We got to get our heart right with God, but then we need to fight for these freedoms. We need to join the conversation and stop being silent, because we'll push this thing back. The right to speak freely means nothing if you don't have the courage to speak boldly. So start with a heart of brokenness over your own sin, and you need to love people, and then you need to stand for truth and be bold.
And again, folks, this is Matthew Boyle here for Breitbart News at the Conservative Political Action Conference. My guest here has been the Benham brothers, David and Jason Benham. You can get the book, Whatever the Cost, at whateverthecost.com or at any bookstore. Thanks so much.